suddenly run out. So quick power nap and we're ready to go once more. So second game, Absolute Legend versus Western Wolves. From what I could hear, it was quite an exciting match the last time. I just heard oohs and ahs coming out of Snoopy and Melisande and then fell asleep. So sorry, Snoopy and Moma, you're Melisande. Yeah. But Lamia's gone home, so this is the final remaining member of Fnatic here with us. Hopefully this game shouldn't take too long to get underway. I'm ready to go and cast. I want to see these picks and bans as quick as possible. So, from the champions we saw in the last game, what do you expect we to see banned out here? Snoopy told you mostly glass. So Fizzban and Urgot banned. What the hell happened in that last game?
That looks sick.
Can you even see out of them?
What?
Can you even see out of them? Because you made me put them on and they just look like...
It's okay if you look at the monitors, but else it's kind
like
of...
frosted glass.
I see the Snoopy standing there, but...
That's about it. Morgana, Urgot, Mundo, Fizz and Shen. Snoopy, what did I miss?
What, last game?
Yeah, because these bans are ridiculous. Something...
That's actually the same bans as last game.
Exactly the same bans as last game.
Okay.
So, well, Tabs, I know Tabs runs Fizz really, really well, but, I mean, you don't ban it against Moma unless you're going to pick a Karthus.
Mundo against us. Remember Molino's Mundo?
Molino's Mundo was horrible, yeah.
That maybe?
And, no. Snoopy and Moma running away. So, Janna ban is very much more standard as well. So, if those are the same bans as last game, maybe we'll see a very similar setup. So, obviously, nothing went horribly wrong, but we'll wait and see. First pick, Lorna, and there's no Janna to take up this time. Morgana's already gone. Those are two common first picks, and as we said, no one really wants to reveal their solo lanes when it comes to this early in the pick phase, because it can be countered so easily. Although you want to start taking champions away from your opponents, obviously 3 bans is not enough to take out everyone's favourite champions. I mean, you got Maluno, for example. Maluno's Nocturne left open, Slepper's Ashe, and it does look like Ashe is going to be the first option.
I'm wondering what support they will pick with Ashe. Because, well, Janna's usually the best choice with Ashe, but yeah, Janna's obviously banned.
Janna's gone, and
maybe we'll see a Nunu or Alistair.
This guy Nunu's still open. Zinnik, every time I've seen him play today, he's picked Soraka. Without fail. So many people will argue, I'm not sure what your stance is on it, that she's not actually that good anymore. Like, since the changes, you've been knocked down, the other supports have been brought up in line. Obviously, Janna is still everyone's favourite, but everyone seems to be taking the likes of Nunu, Alistair, and Leona even is a little bit more popular than Soraka at the moment.
Well, for Soraka you just need the right AD. Like, you need something that's really, really strong but consumes a lot of mana, like Urgot. But Urgot is banned, but so I suspect the Graves, probably.
Yeah, Graves has been making a comeback in these last 3 or 4 games. And as I said, Maluno's Nocturne has been picked up straight away. You could hear that sound effect going off. It was quite obvious that he was flying about the map, causing all sorts of havoc in the first match in this pairing. So let's see, Metallic's picking up that Kennen. I was going to say it's going to be, well, my first thought was AD Kennen, but it's not. We've got an Ashe. So Kennen is going to be some form of AP, whether it be top or mid. Or they could take the Soaz route, and Soaz ran it AD in the top lane, which Moma reliably informed us after the game. He didn't even notice it was an AD Kennen until the post-game screen.
Good communications.
Yeah, he was just seeing this Kennen run about, and
it would be interesting to see.
Weird. I mean, we see Double Lift run it all the time. He loves his Caitlyn, plays it really, really well, but no one else does.
Well, Caitlyn, I don't really consider her too good of a champion. Because, well, she has this awesome early game, but mid-game she totally lacks. Because, I don't know, in this kiting, I don't know, you don't have much. You can only right-click, because at a certain point the Q skill isn't as good as your right-clicking anymore, and the ultimate just for finishing off people. Well, if they escape with really, really low health and they are alone.
Yeah, so Corki then will be a good one to go alongside this Soraka. You have to be obviously a little bit careful he's not too defensive for him, but he can consume a lot of mana, and the armor buff will really help when he's right up in their face. You know, the phosphorus bombs and Gatling gun.
Also, well, Ryze, I think Absolute Legends team, they just love Ryze. I see it every time on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a while where Angus even ran Ryze when he ran it in the top lane, and Extinct would run something else in mid. They'd run it like double AP.
But
I mean, that's still possible. We could see Maluna pick another AP carry and they'll switch those around. But
I expect the last pick to be Aurelia probably for English, top lane.
It's very likely. I mean, we know he lacks his Warwick. I think it's all going to depend, of course, on what Western Wolves go with, which if they pick Warwick, then he can't take it. But Aurelia would be nice. And there is that Leona support, as I mentioned earlier. Leona Ashe would be interesting. It's not a combo I've heard lots of, but I mean, Leona's passive goes really well with more or less any AD carry, just that bonus damage on top of it. The perma CC, of course, you get slowed by Ashe all the time, and then the stuns on top from Leona. It would be very, very, or impossible really to get away from that combo, even with even without an Udyr coming in from the side. But it doesn't matter me explaining that because it's not going to happen. They've switched it to Alistair. So first time we're going to see it, or first time personally I'm going to see an Olaf. I don't know if it was in the game before this.
Well, Logic's played it against us.
How did that go? Because I think it was you guys.
Well, I don't know. It was kind of close, but Pekka was on top against him as Shyvana. Lost like 1 or 2 really close fights, and yeah, then it snowballed through. And Olaf was quite a beast.
Yep. So Maluna then they're picking up the last pick, which will most likely be a solo top for English. Warwick's open, as we said. Aurelia was your prediction. There's still plenty of choices out there to go with. Old school things like Nasus or Renekton,
Riven
earlier. Riven still open. We'll have to wait and see. And of course Fiora, which is one of the new ones, but there's a lot of people still think she's too squishy at the moment, not really too viable. So let's wait and see. Ticking it right down to the last second. And it is going to be that Aurelia. So nice
surprise
on that. So Ryze versus Kennen in the mid is not something we've seen so far today. It sounds like it'll be a very even matchup. I mean, Ryze and Kennen both got very, very spammable Qs. Kennen, of course, not got any mana to worry about. Ryze, after a couple of levels, stops having to worry about mana. Basically, that's all you build, so you never ever run out of that. And of course, the blue buffs as well, just helping keeping him topped up. There's a little bit of a range difference, but providing Ryze can hide behind the creeps, it forces Kennen to get into positions he doesn't want to be in. So it should be good fun. Shouts of Snoopy feeding. So they're obviously having fun. I think they're playing Dominion in the other actually at the moment.
Yeah, ringing a bit and stuff.
Oh, little sly dig. So 10 seconds left. There's no summoners here that I can see are awfully wrong. I mean, old school Ashe with a flash ignore. We haven't seen AD carries run that for a long time, but they're going to dodge out completely. So
yeah, I guess something's wrong with swapping.
Yeah, Sop's wrong or Rune's wrong or something like that. But we'll find out what it is and get it sorted. Remember, guys, taketv.net, find the right news post, and there's a raffle being run to win one of the very comfortable chairs, which you can see the guys next door sitting on from needforseat. Is it not net or .com?
It's .de.
Sorry, .e. Needforseat.de. But yeah, you can win that. It was only open until the end of this semi-final, so before this game is over, get on there, give us your predictions for who's going to take the final, and providing you get it right and you get selected, you could be in with a chance of winning yourself a very, very expensive, comfortable chair. So these guys are going to go through and pick their champions out very, very quickly, of course. Fix those areas, are going to go straight in with them.
Do you want anything to eat or anything to drink?
Depends where you're going.
Anything. Do you want something brought back?
A bottle of Coke would be great. So, good guy, Snoopy.
Thanks for asking.
Would you like something?
No.
Guys, Moma's on camera and Moma doesn't have food in his hand. Look at that.
He quickly run away.
But I suppose it's the same thing. He's going to buy food, so it kind of counts. So, thank you to those guys once more for covering the last game. And we will back in this one in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds time. I do believe we have time for a quick advert break to get that going. I'm going to top up my water before we get started. So, we'll be back very, very shortly, guys, with the second half of this semi-final. Absolute Legend versus Western Wolves. Winner will go on to play against All Authority as soon as Moma gets back in the final to play for €2,500 for first place, and the grand prize, of course, €4,500. That's a lot of money. So stay where you are. We'll be back very, very soon. Welcome back then, guys. Fill that water. Panky here once again with the final remaining member. Well, I say final remaining member as Lamia walks by. The lovely fanatic Melisande still here. We are waiting for the last few seconds of this delay period to run out. Absolute Legends versus Western Wolves on the second semi-final here in the HearToWin Cup at Take TV on this very, very comfortable casting couch. So we've seen, obviously, first time I've seen an Olaf run this tournament. You say Logic's played it against you, but unfortunately that wasn't on stream. We've got a very, very standard lineup we've seen from AL time and time again. Do you have any favourites looking at these picks right here? Is there anything that screams easy win?
Not too much actually right now, but I expect if the game goes on long enough, I think Absolute Legends will win because Aurelia and Ryze both just scale so insane into late game. They become so tanky but still deal tons of damage.
They do. Tons of damage, of course, been floating around their house all weekend.
I mean, they've played a similar setup against CLG, I think it was. And I don't know, okay, they had a Mundo instead of the Nocturne, but as the game went longer and longer, they just couldn't kill anyone, really. And the people still dealt so much damage.
Yeah, that Mundo was absolutely phenomenal against COG. The second game, tanking 4 people, Cogmore included, because Yellow Pete was so underfarmed in their bottom lane, it really didn't go well for him at all. But I mean, if Nocturne can get to that stage, I will be very, very impressed, but I can't see it happening. So 400 health per 5 was the regen on Mundo as that game ended.
God.
So seeing that on a Nocturne would be insane.
Well, but also, if it goes into late game, Olaf also becomes a real beast.
He does become a real beast, and of course, a lot of true damage on Olaf, a lot of true damage on Corki as well, which is another big thing when it comes to
Well, it's
late
not
game.
that big on Corki.
Well, yeah, but every little helps, I suppose. But yeah, I see what you mean. It scales better, of course, on Aurelia and Ryze, as you say. He just becomes so tanky.
Oh, but okay, they also have the Ashe. Ashe, yeah.
Yep, Ashe, a really good, strong late game carry. Western Wolves are looking for some sort of invade. Anguish has spotted them. They don't know it. They can't see him in their bush. Notice how he's on the furthest side possible of this bush. So if they had gone in there, he had the longest time he could to get away from it. And here are Western Wolves in the enemy jungle. AL well and truly prepared. They saw it coming a mile away. And they are just going to back out. And by the looks of it, give them this blue buff. Maluna going to go around the other side, start out at red. Obviously Wraiths.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Of course, with the Western Wolves team starting here on this invader, so they're going to steal this blue. Means Maluna is going to have to start on the other side of the jungle. In actual fact, while my original thought was he's going to take raids and then go red, he can actually start straight on the enemy blue, rather than risking himself finding any kind of interference after doing the red buff. So
Minions have spawned.
very, very ballsy play. Olaf has obviously gone back, going to stop and buy this extra health potion, and then he will make his way down to the top lane. Maluna going to steal these wolves then at level 1. So okay, it's not his own jungle, but he's starting off with a very standard jungle route when it comes to the actual camps cleared. And he's going to leave one up just to be even more annoying, as there comes the blue spawn. He's getting it pulled from Ryze and Anguish, so very, very standard in that sense. Just happens to be the wrong side of the map. And very nice of Skullomania has completely cleared that camp, whereas Maluna's left one little lizard up and one little wolf up. So timer is going to be much more standard for the AO jungle.
An instant gank coming from Nocturne here.
Indeed, straight up level 2 onto Yamato Cannon. Very nice axe puts the slowdown, but the exhaust goes out. The fear proxy still running in the right direction, which is very, very lucky for him. He didn't even take one step backwards towards Aurelia's tower. If he had, he would be dead, and that would be first blood. Interesting enough, he didn't pop his ghost, which was a pretty ballsy move when he saw Nocturne come out, as obviously they used so much on him there to get him down that low.
But well, Irelia's gonna get a big advantage out of that, I guess.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to, well,
He's
invest
popped
quite a
all
lot
three
of
of his
time
health
and
potions.
health pots.
In fact, all 4 of his health potions, because he stayed there when he
Ooh.
recalled from the invade and brought a 4th one. So,
But well, Nocturne's probably gonna come back again after that, and then...
yeah, and there won't be an exhaust this time, as Angus hasn't got that, but it will still be a very, very scary gank. But meanwhile, Skullomania, Udyr, sitting here looking for trying to do something on Extinct, but he's playing very, very safe indeed. Ashe and Alice are then going to have all kinds of fun down in this bottom lane before Soraka starts hitting level 3, level 4. That's when she's going to start really shining, and Corki can be able to have a whole lot of fun. But Udyr is up top in Tribush. He is going to find Nocturne. Meluno is here. They've spotted him, both wearing double buffs, and Angus timing it perfectly. They're going to start, they're going to initiate onto Udyr. He pops into Turtle Stance, tries to get out there. Angus going very, very low. He's ignited. He'll fall down to Udyr. There's the first blood. Meluno, in fact, going very, very low as well. Yamato Cannon chasing him down. Does miss that axe thanks to a very nice flash, but Meluno will fall. So what started off as a very nice top lane has suddenly become a horrible one when you're looking at it from Angus's point of view.
Yeah, double buff Olaf's definitely nothing you want to have on an enemy.
Double buff on 2 members of this Western Wolves team. It is all kinds of horrible. And of course all this CS being lost to the tower thanks to a very quick push from Udyr and Olaf. So, Western Wolves 1,000 gold ahead already. Absolute Legends need to make something happen to make this gap up very, very soon. Alistair looking to try and gank onto mid. Extinct.
It can open door real quick.
Yeah, Extinct doesn't really look exposed enough, but he's going to wait. He's just hiding there in, or out of sight in the bush. Making life a little bit harder on Metalix now that they know he's alone, and I mean they don't know exactly where Alistair is, but they know they can be a little bit more aggressive. He's on his way back, however. And again, there's a gank going on top. Udyr is here. Angus forced to flash away. So he's having all sorts of trouble. Both of those double buff, though his blue just ran out. Angus is down on to, where's he gone, 18 CS as opposed to 16 on Udyr, so he's actually not capitalising on that as good as he could.
Well, he got denied a lot on early. After a Nocturne gank.
And Nocturne is back. Yamato Cannon's going to try and drop a ward in there. Meluno will spot it straight away and get 2 auto attacks off, but not quite killing it yet.
He's playing so defensive after all.
Indeed he is. There's a ping out from Western Wolves onto Meluno. Cannon's coming up from mid. He had to turn out this way. Blocks the stun very, very nicely with that spell shield. Angus is fighting Yamato Cannon at the same time. Meluno still very, very squishy. They're taking a lot of damage from this Udyr. He won't dive that, however, and a very nice axe again from Yamato Cannon, taking a lot of health away from Angus. And Cannon is here. Tabs and Skullomania looking like they want to go in on Angus. The Q misses, cancels his recall. They are going to back out straight off of that. But Angus, again, he wants to go back, he wants to get health, he needs to recover from this, but they are not letting him recall.
He'll better go back now. He will get zoned. Even though the creeps are pushing now, he might get some at the tower then.
Tabs then recalled from this Tribush. Udyr's gone to hold mid for a little bit, but Extinct is just pushing him about. 50 CS on Corki, Ashe down on 46. Very nice farm going on in that bottom lane. But when you look at 19 CS on Udyr and then 52 on Corki, the wealth is certainly spread out around these teams. Around these champions, sorry. Only 2 teams. No. Tab's dashing in to try and do what he can to Extinct. He does get the stun off, but the blue buff has respawned for Absolute Legends. Obviously, Skullomania knows the timing exactly. He's the one that killed it. Meluno has arrived. Alistair's coming out from bottom. Tabs is coming in from mid. Extinct's going to find Skullomania with his face. Does get a good cage off and does what damage he can. But there's now 4 members now that Ashe has joined them from Western Wolves in this AL jungle.
So actually not going for it, but they, I don't know, they want to take it, but it's gonna be, well, I think they'll put up a fight. Because the Ryze definitely wants that blue buff.
Especially as Zinnik's going to miss the bush with that ward, so they can't actually see Alistair hiding in there.
And it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Nice smite from Skullomania, taking that away. Don't have to worry about giving it to anyone else, just get it away from Absolute Legends. And that was all because of nicer positioning, to be honest. AL were not particularly weak. They had 4 champions there on full health, nothing wrong with that. They just weren't where they should be at the time of the fight. Alistair coming in onto Slepper at the back, but taking no damage at all, just a headbutts him right back out of range. Top lane then, 35 CS Anguish, 50 CS Yamato Cannon, as we said, starting to snowball away from him, just walking in, did some 2 damage, going back and life stealing all off minions again. And they're ganking in onto mid. Udyr and Kennen, the ult went out, and Skullomania will pick that kill up. One last Phoenix stance auto attack. Nicely done. Tab sense setting that gank up. Despite the snare from Ryze, of course, he can get in nice and close with the lightning rush. A lot of damage coming out. He's only got a Hextech revolver, so that's very well done there. Molino trying to block what he can with that spell shield, but he's getting very, very low. Did block the stun, but he needs to be careful. A couple of shurikens will chunk him down. He's only got a cloth armor at the moment, and until Noxon starts getting some items, he's very, very weak indeed.
They seem to be forming up for a Drake, and they're attacking it.
Yeah,
with the Ryze gone, they definitely have a good chance.
Yeah, I mean, Ryze was dead coming back into the base. Nocturne's they know how low Nocturne was, and this is a completely free dragon.
Drake, pretty much uncontested.
Slepper just poking.
That's a nice 2.4k gold lead.
Western Wolves well and truly taking the lead in this game then. What do you think is going wrong here for Absolute Legends? Because they seem to just be losing all their lanes left, right and centre, and losing the jungle. Was it out picks, or are they playing badly?
I think just they made a mistake at fighting in the top lane. That, well, of course, top lane advantage for Olaf, advantage for Udyr. Udyr kind of spread that advantage towards the mid lane. And yeah, bottom lane, well, it's kind of even on bottom lane, so nothing much happened there.
Why did Extinct just flash that? A Nocturno comes out, they're going into Skullomania. They shouldn't dive this, and they don't. The Fear still procs anyway. But what the hell was Extinct flashing like that for?
I don't know. Maybe he still has... Does he have Ignite up? Yeah, he has Ignite.
Olaf's coming down from top. There's a ping and low health warning for Ash down bottom. Olaf's not coming in. We'll keep a quick eye on it.
Yeah, we are bottom lane and getting poked a lot now. Soraka gaining levels.
And Olaf actually not gaining anything from that. So he's going to go back up top. Anguish is doing his best to catch up while he's got this free farm time. But Yamato Cannon wasn't really gone long enough. And it's still 54 CS to 68. Stunning Yamato Cannon just as he went in for that last hit. He's taking a lot of damage actually, but Anguish doesn't want to chase it. Just wants to sit here and farm. As you said, Irelia scales very, very well into the late game. So the quicker Anguish can farm and reach that late game kind of standard, the better it's going to be for him. Olaf did recall. Molino's wasting time in the bush and his red buff runs out. Olaf is approaching this top tower just to hold it and keep the minions off and stop him like wasting to the tower. But Anguish doing a good job of not quite freezing the lane, but they are going to gank. Molino cancels his recall. The stun goes up. He doesn't dodge that one with his spell shield. And Fear working a little bit more in favour of Absolute Legends that time round.
Yeah, but still half health, not even close.
No. And especially when it comes to Udyr, exactly this. Just turtles dancing and getting it all back. That was so much damage at Yamato Cannon. One axe just cleared about 4 minions away.
Yeah, it was a brutalizer. And he now has just piercing through everything.
Face off in the bushes. And there goes the hook shot, and they spot him. Big crit coming out of Ash thanks to that passive. And Slepper immediately on the back foot. Needs to be very careful. Zinnik only just gets a heal. Headbutt Pulverize comes out of Alistair. Slepper going down very low. Asher comes out. Summon a heal, and the heal from Zinnik's ult goes off. Slepper's still very low, however, misses that big one, which is a massive thing, and he will fall down to a nice volley from Metalix. Metalix now out of mana. He's going to have to turn that slowing arrow off soon. Yeah, Kennen's coming down onto Zinnik. There's the ultimate. There's a headbutt pole from Alistair again, and Zinnik will fall down. Western Wolves taking solid command of this game right now.
Yeah, kills going everywhere now. Getting quite a nice gold advantage. 3.6k. I mean, with a dragon picker. Oh, they're also going for the blue now.
Yeah, perfect timing that again. They found Maluna as well. They will get their stun off. He doesn't quite get his spell shield up. And he ults across onto Tabs, who just lightning rushes back and away. Extinct is the focus for Udyr. Both of these members of AL are very, very low, and they will lose Maluna. Flash stun onto Extinct. He's getting very, very low. Kenna's going to keep chasing this. He will fall down as well. And 7-0 at 13 minutes. Absolute legends are falling apart.
Yeah, they're giving him nothing. Really nothing. Taking every blue buff. And I suspect they're also going to pick up the next Drake when it respawns. Because I don't think Absolute Legends will be able to contest it.
Yeah, it won't be far off as the last kill prompted that one. You know what, I can't do that. I need to put those back on. Didn't realise quite how bad my eyesight was. So, Scalamania picking up his red buff. Angus then still doing his best to farm. He's got a phage up, so he's got a little bit more survivability and damage against that Olaf. But Olaf has hit 108 CS, and Angus is still just sitting around 91. So that gang solidly put him in the... And of course Angus is 0-1, and Olaf is 1-0.
Oh, Absolute Legends also forming up now. I think they want to contest the Drake actually.
Nice headbutt, and the Pulverize did actually miss from Extinct. He did flash away. Tabs very low. Extinct still wants to pick this kill up. He needs to be careful. Irelia is here. Tabs does fall. Extinct is on the run, and it is just Alice, but Udyr arrives, and that will be the back of AL's push. They are forming up as a 5-man. They are in a position to Drake, of course. They've picked that kill up. Lorden has got no ult, and he dives in straight onto all that damage from Corki. Angus is going to dive him under the tower. One more auto attack is going to take. Sleper will pick that kill up. Ash Arrow flies up, completely misses. Udyr will fall down under the tower, and AL only execute on Extinct. XAL are showing us quite how they managed to win that first game and why they deserve a place in this final. Turning this game a long way back into their favour very, very quickly with a nice 3-man pickup under that mid tower, and now they're going to rotate down towards Dragon. Angus instantly going up now 2-1, so he's stronger than Olaf. Although not when he fights him on no health.
Angus must have a lot of money now.
Angus going very, very low. He needs to get back and heal if they want to heal and spend this 1700 gold if they want to contest this dragon at all. So he needs to do that very quickly. They're standing on a Western Wolves ward, however. And Tabs is going to come and get annoying. If he can actually land the Shuriken on Angus, he does. Oh. He will pick that kill up.
And a double buff.
And yes, double buff indeed.
And that's also probably going to be the
flash away. That will be the Drake without a doubt. Yeah, Western Wolves are all down here and around it. Angus, of course, not going to respawn in time. Little bit careless, I must admit, for Absolute Legends and Angus. So, nice pick up then for Western Wolves. Still 4,000 gold in the lead. They did lose the... they did lose 8 tower. I think that bottom one went down first. So that's even that count up. 8 kills to 3. They're going to make a push for mid, and AL they're in no position to try and defend it now, and it's already half health anyway, so this tower will fall. Ash Arrow goes out. Very nice dodge by Corki. It will land on Angus, but he's too far into the enemy team for them to do anything about it. Western Wolves are going to have to drop back. Tabs, while he's doing a lot of damage, he's still quite squishy. He's rushing an Abyssal Scepter, or maybe just a Negatron's and then a Crystal Scepter. But until he gets that Giant's Belt, he's going to be very, very squishy. He needs to be careful jumping into the enemy team with his ultimate ticking.
Seems to be kind of undecided right now what he's going to build. He's got, yeah, the Abyssal almost finished. Also got the Will of the Ancients almost finished.
Yeah, so there is a first blue buff onto Extinct, of course, and it's not even his own one this time around. So Absolute Legends, sick of having them stolen. They're going to take one for themselves. Now, they are setting a bait up in this tri-bush behind the tower, although there's no one from Western Wolves even close, so it doesn't really matter at all. So they will pick up a third tower for free. Absolute Legends then taking down 3 tower kills. No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side of the scoreboard. Taking down 2 tower kills, so let's even that up. So it's 2 towers for 2. Someone's cooking again and it smells good. Western Wolves then, they have all just backed. Malunu gets melted, getting caught way too far out of position. Anguish is having a stare off with Alistair. But, and again, Western Wolves are going to pick up a third tower here. Now that Malunu has fallen, AL have got no answer to this push.
And they might even go for a second tower. I mean, they're one guy ahead.
Yeah, and they've seen Rise in this ward, so they know he's not here. AL are making some nice plays trying to get them back into this, like grouping up as a 5, taking 3 people out by surprise under a tower, pushing the towers, rotating to top, taking another one down. But then they're making these mistakes on the way out again, and losing more than they were gaining in the first place. So they need to think through these strategies a little bit better. Western Wolves then are going to back out, warding as they go, of course, giving themselves as much coverage as they can. AL blue buff has respawned. Dragon is up in about 3 minutes. And if we look at the gold counts in right now, Olaf on 6,200, Aurelia on thousands less than that. So despite the kills Anguish has managed to pick up, he's dropped too far behind in CS as well that it's not making too much of a difference. And exactly this, Western Wolves heading across to this blue. Been very, very good with that timer every time, obviously, since the invade. Ash Arrow goes out, lands onto Extinct. Flash from Udyr, headbutt pulverized from Alistair. There's the ultimate from Kennen, ripping everyone apart. Zinuk will fall down very, very quickly. Slepper is hiding a little bit safe behind the tower, doing what damage he can to this Western Wolves team, but it's just not enough, and he is going to face off against Metalex for a second or two. Anguish is still not here, he's just trying to farm in that top lane. And Western Wolves know it. Big crit coming out of Ash. Has she finished that? What a nice axe. So just getting poked down here. Ash has finished a very, very quick Infinity Edge. Hasn't even finished her boots. So that's where that crit came from.
And also picked up the blue again.
And yep, and that was stolen by Tabs on his own. So 30,000 gold for Western Wolves. 23.7 for Absolute Legends. Anguish is going to find himself, and Alistair needs to be careful. He doesn't know what's on the other side of this bush. At the moment, it's an Ash, which he would not be able to fight the pair of. This is new farming wolves. Jungle Soraka. You'll see it. It'll be a thing.
It needs more star call. Then it's actually pretty fast.
He's level 8 actually. Is he even leveled Sarkle yet? He shouldn't have. No, he hasn't, so that would explain it. Now, massive farm here. Numato Cannon just standing up top to soak up some XP while Metalex gets all this gold. If you actually look now, 150 CS on Metalex. He's carrying nearly 1,400, nearly 7,000 gold in total. As he does also ding up to level 12. Arrow is back up. They have done a very good job of using that to initiate in the last 2 fights actually, catching just the right targets and following up with a great chain CC from Udyr and Alistair.
Oh, they picked up the oracles now. Now they can really, secure their advantage and make them be scared to run to jungle. And they're clearing the Baron.
And they are, and AL know about it.
Yeah, AL got a CV, but well,
we'll have to see how Western Wolves going to play this. They are just going to try clear out the vision and bait it. No point trying to fight the Baron yet. It's a little bit too greedy and it could throw this game. 7,000 gold is again. We've seen games come back from worse. I mean, we saw COG 10,000 gold behind AL in the quarterfinals, but yet they were still very close to winning it. One fight could have gone either way, and even though they dropped down to a 17,000 gold disadvantage at one point, AL could have still screwed up a team fight and they would have still lost. And we are obviously by no means writing off AL right here. 7,000 gold is in relative terms quite small, but it's about to get even bigger when that Drake falls. AL pinging around the Baron areas. They still have no vision of it. They know the fight's not going on because there's a ward in here, but they don't know where Western Wolves are, or they didn't until they have showed themselves in mid and bottom lane. And suddenly this tower looks very, very exposed. Rise pops his ultimate to clear the minion as fast as possible, taking quite a lot of damage himself though. He will, however, push them back with help from Corki and Rise. Sorry, Corki and Nocturne. Metalax then just going to keep farming his lanes as Tabs reverses the push in the bot lane, getting a lot of CS for his trouble. And he has got that giant spell. So he actually finished Abyssal and then picked up his giant spell. So he's becoming tanky while still getting quite a few resistances and reducing the resistances, of course, more importantly, of his enemies. You're going to be sitting there running around everyone, really close quarters, channeling the ultimate. Might as well put that AoE passive from Abyssal Scepter on them while you do it. And of course it hard counters the passive off Soraka, because that grants 16 magic resist and Abyssal Scepter lowers it by 20, so... Only just noticed the name tags under the scoreboards on that screen. So we are there, absolute legends. Again on the back foot, Corki in the bottom lane. Western Wolves have pinged Baron. It is warded from AL, they have seen it. Western Wolves will see the ward now that Alistair has arrived. They do rotate straight around to kill it, and I suspect they'll pull off of Baron now. They know Corki's on his way across.
Seems like they want to force it.
They definitely are going to force it. They're going to take this ward out again very, very quickly.
Corki is not close enough yet.
They've got a lot of damage too, which is really helping. We'll see, can Meluno get in there and steal it? No, he gets stunned through the wall. The Western Wolves will pick that up, but a lot of AoE damage going to have. Meluno come in. First kill will go down on Meluno. No, he will fall down. Rise go down 2-2. Ash has fallen before or after picking up Meluno. Olaf is chasing down onto Zinnik with the help of Udyr. They will pick that kill up. 3-4-2. Absolute Legends have lost all except Corki and Irelia. Western Wolves have got a much stronger team for pushing here, however.
They can just, yeah, force through the tower now. And I think they will.
Now we're going to push straight up this mid lane. Olaf, Tabs, Olaf, Kennen and Udyr are going to chunk their way through this first one. They might even get the second one, considering Corki has been forced right out and back up top, although Nocturne has respawned. And they're going to go out and steal this blue buff instead.
Yeah, and the outer lanes are pushing, they got to do something about it.
$10,000 gold then in favour of Western Wolves. Absolute Legends need to be very careful how they play this. And I think Anguish doesn't know quite what he's running into, so he needs to be careful with these chasing. If he does fight these two, he will lose. And the stun goes out. Anguish taking a lot of damage already. There's a slow. Tabs gets the stun off. Anguish will fall down. Schoolboy errors, if I must admit. There was no reason for him to come up into this part of the jungle without support.
Not really.
He had no idea what he was running into. Absolutely no vision for AL any side of this jungle.
More people want to invade.
That's Snoopy with food. And Momo, sorry. Momo, of course, buying food. So, Absolute Legends then. Still 11,000 gold back. Oh, they went to McDonald's. That's brilliant. So, we will get around to that in a minute. So, here we go. Meluno then just clearing out these waves. Western Wolves solidly in the lead here. They're going to have to throw it pretty horribly if we are not to see a third game. Charles. But Extinct, as you say, Rise and Anguish, very, very strong late game champions. Anguish not actually building very tanky. He hasn't even got his Triforce up yet, but he's aiming for it. He's got that Wit's End, but even then, he's not going to stay alive for long. We saw it in a couple of other games, like even against COG. When he jumped into that fight, he melted in a matter of seconds.
Yeah,
so
and he will again against that Olaf.
Yeah, exactly. So this...
So massive damage.
No matter how late this game goes on, he needs to get a little bit more tanky going. Now Western Wolves with 3 Baron buffs still up, rotating around to push this top lane. They are going to chunk down this tower, and they're actually face tanking with Ashe at the moment, which is not your ideal. But they will get that for free as AL back off. They know there's nothing they can do against this.
And seems like they want to push over another turret.
Certainly do. Their outer lanes are pushing in favour of Absolute Legends, so they can't sit here and do this all day long as they'd like. And of course this Soraka is going to keep AL up through most of the poke.
But seems like they want to use the last moments of their Baron buff.
Let's see, how long have we got? It's a good about 20 seconds left on that. That does set Baron up for a respawn somewhere around the 33-minute mark. And now they're going to attack. I think Dragon is due up very soon as well.
Yeah, Drake's gonna be up in 20 seconds.
And just clearing out the jungle. The blue buff's obviously not back up. Tabs grabbed that not so long ago. It will be soon though. They're going to rotate around, face tank and nuke down this bottom tower, exposing all 3 inhibitor turrets for absolute legends. Metalex suddenly starts attacking it and it loses all his health on the spot. He has now finished his Phantom Dance and finished his boots completely. So despite that very fast Infinity Edge, he's got plenty to back it up this time around. And still actually very squishy. 30 magic resist is not much at all. In fact, that's not even running any MR runes, is it?
Nope.
30
Well,
magic resist base.
it's not like anything with magic damage is gonna come remotely close to Ashe.
No, not if his team are playing well anyway.
Yeah.
And
But
that they are.
I mean, the only magic damage, the real magic damage source from AL is a Rise, and Ashe shouldn't be anywhere near that. I mean, she's got Aurelia and the Nocturne to take care of first, anyways.
So, certainly very well set up. Angus then stealing that blue buff in retaliation for a Dragon, but his gold lead is ever increasing. 48,000 gold then for Western Wolves. Just found their blue buff missing. 14k gold difference in total. There is the Baron having won out on Yamato Cannon, so somewhere around 30 I think.
31:15. It's gonna be the timer.
Sorry, yeah, my maths is horrible. 31.50. So Angus then poking about with that CV, does spot Alistair with the Oracles up again. It would be a nice pick, but Alistair's so tanky right now, and his ultimate is still up. You're not going to pick him off easily at all.
Well, I guess they're gonna sit out till next Baron now and then make their push. Because without it, I think they're not strong enough yet. Because, well, they're pretty melee focused after all.
Yeah, it's very close.
With the Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf doing a lot of damage in melee range. Kennen, okay, he's not exactly melee, but he has to be that close.
Yeah,
So,
and, well, AL just has so much stuff to clean up the creeps. With Maluno, with his Q, and Rise, and Corki.
There's the AL blue buff respawning. We've still got about a minute to go for Baron, and it does look like Western Wolves want to go across and steal that. Now, AL have not had their own blue buff once in this game. They've had 2 of the enemies, but never had one from their own jungle. So, we'll see, they are pushed back up again, clearing these waves with that Maluno and Extinct. Western Wolves using their oracles around again, just getting rid of as many of these wards as they can.
Oh damn it, this might be their first blue buff.
Might be first blue buff out of their own jungle, and it's going to go straight to... Going to give it to Extinct, or is Slepper going to take it? More rockets. Extinct's going to have it. So very nicely done there.
And they're gathering up for the Baron now. Should be up any second.
AL are going to want to contest this. There's no way they can give it away for free.
Nope.
If they do, what do you think their chances are?
Well, pretty slim. Because as soon as they pick up the Baron, if they get it, they will just rush for the inhibitor tower. And I think they might be too late.
Certainly going down very quickly. It's so low health, and need the ultimate from Maluno. He comes across, he does get the smite off. It was only Ashe left there, and he's doing so much damage to her now. Maluno going very low. Ashe back in amongst the team. Aurelia doing what he can to pick her off. She will fall down, but Angus is now tanking 3 members of Western Wolves, and as we said, he's not tanky, he's just got damage. Udyr is getting out there with the smallest bit of life, and AL will steal that Baron and get away with 4 members left alive. And they are suddenly looking like they have a fighting chance in this game once more, at least for the next 4 minutes anyway, while they're wearing this Baron buff.
I don't know what they were really thinking. I mean, Nocturne has a jump, they could directly jump to the Baron, and their smite just ran off.
Yeah, the smite ran away from it, leaving Ashe doing a lot of damage, chunking it down. By the time Maluno landed on Ashe's face, he was in perfect position to smite it with just enough health smith in.
But, well, he was also in a perfect position to fight because everyone kind of ran for the team and he was just, yeah, sitting on Ash.
Yeah,
That's where he's supposed to be.
Ash would have gone down a whole lot quicker, but someone managed to get an Ignite, an Exhaust even off onto the Luno just in time. But, okay, it's only closed the gap down to a mere 10,000 gold. But this buff, as I mentioned many a times to Cass earlier on, to a couple of the COG guys, who were actually quite surprised when I said it, if you theory craft the stats you get off this Baron buff, it takes 5,000 golds worth of items to equal these stats. So for the next 4 minutes, Absolute Legends are very, very rich.
Well, even though Western Wolf are still ahead in theory, if you take that, I don't think they will want to fight them.
Red buff has respawned for Absolute Legends. They do seem to want to sit back with this Baron buff and just keep farming as best they can. Not looking to make any plays. Western Wolves are still very, very strong, and as you can see, they are in the enemy jungle doing all kinds of steals and shenanigans. Olaf has just backed, buying even more items, getting himself so much more tanky, and still so much damage output. Finishing off a Hex Drinker, finishing that Frozen Heart. 3 wards from Absolute Legends all over this Baron pit. So much vision, even though he's not going to be there for a long time yet. Now, this ping's going out all over this heart of the jungle. Absolute Legends know their enemy are in there. There's no two ways about that. They did have a couple of wards in it, but Lorden has taken them out with that Oracles, which he's done a very good job of keeping up, in all fairness. He's had that for a long, long time now. Corki pushing the bottom lane all on his own, while the Western Wolves guys are pushing down this top turret completely, finding yet another ward.
Well, they seem to want, to
they
fight
want this
after all, even though Absolute Legends has a Baron on 3 people, I think.
Although, as you mentioned, they're very melee focused. They're not going to be great at sieging these towers, and they know it, so they're backed out as soon as they got the creep wave right up there. We'll have to see how they're going to play this.
Seems like they want to pick up someone if someone feels like face checking, but well, Absolute Legends still playing very defensive. New Drake, yeah, just pinged, and there it is.
Game certainly looking like it's far from over. Yeah, as we said, dragging out as long as possible. They are just sitting back and farming with this Baron buff. Do not want to do anything stupid just because they have a little purple ring around their feet. Very nice defensive, so that's just one of the slowest dragon kills we've seen all game, and yet it's been the latest dragon kill, so everyone's got the most damage, but it's just a very safe one, of course, with the rest of their team defending any kind of entrance. Anguish then back in his natural habitat, up in that top lane, pushing the minions out. Now, Baron buff is down to about, in no time at all, in fact it has just worn off, so the next one's coming up at about 38 minutes, I believe.
38, 40, something around that.
Yep, something like that. So Western Wolves going to back up, get their various buffs, and get down to business ready. Getting the next Baron buff. This time, hopefully, they won't hand it to Melunu on a silver platter.
I don't think they're going to risk it anymore. They're just going to play it safe. They got the advantage, so why put anything on risk?
Yeah, exactly. They lost a 6,000 gold lead, I believe it was. By losing that last Baron. Obviously not the Baron on his own, but it closed things up. Now AO want this blue buff, but so do Western Wolves. AO see that hook shot, drop a ward and run right back home.
I think Expert Land's not going to be able to contest this, and they won't.
Yeah, Absolute Legends know that Western Wolves are going to be bad at invading this base and fighting in the tab because, as you mentioned, they are very, very melee focused. So they don't want to fight anywhere outside these turrets right now. They are just sitting back, letting the minions come to them, farming them here, and they want to fight Western Wolves in this position. Western Wolves are now looking like they want such a fight. So let's see. How's this going to play out? They are poking down the turret. Anguish ultimates and gets rid of those minions so quickly. Next wave Rise. Ultimate comes out from Rise as well, so that's 2 ults down for AL. If
they're taking some massive damage from poking. But they're slowly taking a tower down.
Anguish actually rotating around into the mid lane. Metallic's a little bit low. Angus dropping a ward out in his own jungle. He's grouped up. The rest of his team are here. Someone needs to start the fight soon, otherwise we're going to be sitting here until 50 minutes waiting on a lot of nothing. Here's Baron then somewhere in the next minute. Both teams know this. There's a lot of recalls going out. Potions being bought, items being bought. Everyone getting that little bit stronger.
Well, they're slowly preparing for a Baron now, setting up pings where they need to ward. But it's gonna be up in about 30 seconds.
Bottom lane is pushing in favour of Western Wolves. Yeah, top lane is now pushing in favour of Western Wolves now that Tabs has had his way with it. And AL do have their own oracles up, so they're doing their best to clear out the vision around Baron Pen. Anger's going to get caught out of position. If he gets stunned here, the entire Western Wolves team are going to find him. He does force the ultimate out from Tabs. He's going to do his best to run the Ignite, so a little bit of lag. Flash stun comes out from Udyr. Anguish will fall, and I'm going to have to say, he may have just handed Western Wolves the game.
Probably, unless I can pull out another Baron steal. And also, pretty interestingly, Ashe went for the Guardian Angel.
Notice how as soon as that CV went out, they stopped attacking the Baron. They need it to run out so that Maluna cannot ultimate his way in. Now that the CV's gone, they're going to delay it a little bit just to throw them off their timeout. Now finish it off, damaging Slepper through the wall. Ashe doing so much damage. Here comes Maluna. He comes in, doesn't manage to smite it this time round. Western Wolves do pick that up. Maluna will fall down very, very quickly. And nice ultimate coming through the wall from Ashe. He will for the flash to follow it up. Udyr and Ashe jumping onto Extinct. He's forced to flash away towards Golems. Yamato Cannon is chasing, lands a very nice axe through the wall. That slow goes down. Yamato Cannon taking so much damage, but that life steal, so much damage. True damage, life steal. Olaf, so strong once you hit that 40-minute mark.
Especially with Ghost Blade, wow. So much attack speed.
And that's 5 members of Western Wolves still standing, beating their way into this absolute Legends base. There's the inhibitor down. They're going to keep chasing the next one. It's only Anglish and Zinuk up. And I must admit, there's nothing they're going to be able to do to stop this Western Wolves freight train, if you like,
yeah,
of
just
damage.
ripping through the towers. Nothing they can do about it. And so...
He's just playing with Anglish. He's actually taking quite a bit there, but then he will fall down. So there's the Nexus. Western Wolves will take the second game, making this semi-final into a 1-1 series. First, third game, and well, if that game's anything to go by, it's going to be an amazing third game to watch. So